I'm I'm getting kind of concerned, kind of scared, a little worried, and I just want to chat about it with you guys. A little bit more of a casual video. Got my tea here. Got my actually I didn't even realize it was this one, but I got my hat on because just showered after Pilates class and did not in fact want to do my hair all over again. It's quite the ordeal. I make my boyfriend do it now with my new haircut, but I'm actually just wearing the Your Delulu is showing hat. You can get that and other merch items. I was not even a planned plug there, but yeah, I'm kind of concerned, and I just want to talk it through with you guys and let you know where I'm at, because I've been thinking about this a lot in light of the Charlie Kirk situation about doing live events or not doing live events, and how it's kind of scary that you even have to think about your safety or not. I've done, I don't know, at least a dozen different events on college campuses, like talks. They bring you in these random clubs. The libertarians clubs have brought me in. The young Republicans or college Republicans classes have brought me in to talk, or clubs rather. But I'm not sure I could say yes to one right now. And that's kind of scary that we're even at in that situation. I mean, I'm supposed to moderate a debate about artificial intelligence on a college campus next month. And it's not going to be a contentious event. I mean, it's not about a hot button social issue. We're not talking about trans rights or abortion or anything like that. But still, I mean, there's going to be metal detectors. There's going to be multiple police officers. People are going to have to be screened before they're let in. Like, it's bizarre and concerning to me that we're even at this point, because we should be able to get together in person, especially on a college campus of all places, and actually just talk about stuff and not fear for our literal safety. Now, this isn't new, but it's definitely elevated since what happened to Charlie Kirk, this fear of in-person. I mean, I literally have thought about, and maybe there's just me being OCD or me being like a hypochondriac, about whether, like, do I need to wear a bulletproof vest under my suit in case something crazy happens? Like, I shouldn't even have to have that thought. And I have the advantage of being, I guess, on the more milquetoast side of political commentators. Some of the more controversial or polemic or much bigger names, honestly, I mean, they have full-time security. They probably spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on that. I don't have that kind of resources, but thankfully I also don't have the need. But some of you guys even discovered me from this, actually, the debate I did with Michael Knowles a few years ago at the University of Pittsburgh. And I've really never been in another situation where just for talking or speaking, I literally felt like in physical danger, not in the safe space, like, oh, I'm not safe, I don't feel safe, in the like, wait, someone might try to kill us sense. I've only felt that once in my life, really, and it was at that Pittsburgh event. It wasn't for me, really. I kind of actually filled in to debate Michael Knowles, who's kind of hardcore anti-trans, and I have a more moderate, tolerant, live and let live position. But obviously I was kind of in harm's way, because if somebody were to do something to the event, I just could be caught up in it. And it was so crazy. The police had to escort us in through a side door, and they had a line of officers holding back, like a braying mob pushing at the officers trying to get to him and get to us. And they were burning him in effigy. And then it was actually crazy. So it was in this, I don't even know if it's like a lecture hall, but it sat a couple hundred people, and then it was live streamed. But these protesters were on the outside of the building, banging on the walls and the windows, to the point where the entire event, people, you could like hear it coming through, that people were just banging on the walls, trying to, maybe not trying to get in, but trying to at least send a message like, we're here, we know where you are. That's like kind of psychotic and genuinely scary. And I remember we were all like on edge during the event, to the point where it really, I don't know, I think I did an okay job in the debate, and I think it went fine, but it really colored the entire thing, that we literally felt unsafe to even speak on a public college campus, which, by the way, is supposed to be protected by the First Amendment. And it was to the point where a couple people got up and started screaming in the middle of the event. Like they had reserved tickets or bought tickets or whatever just to disrupt it intentionally and then be escorted out. Every time that happened, we all jumped. And then even when there was a Q&A and people, and I've actually put this clip on my socials a couple times because I find it hilarious. The girl who tried to ask me, how much money did they pay you? And I was just like, a lot. Like, oh no, you got me. I got paid for doing an event. Well, she really wanted to get the microphone. So she ran to the microphone and everyone freaked out. And like the security guards all jumped forward. And mind y'all, this was several years ago now. This was well before any of this. So I don't know. I just think it's sad that we have to second guess our safety now if we go to college campuses. I mean, and I also wonder if the left-wing political commentators, like the equivalent of a Michael Knowles or of a Ben Shapiro, so maybe a Hassan Piker or a Destiny or whatever, who, I mean, at least in Hassan's case, he'll kind of hand wave at condemning what happened to Charlie. He doesn't openly support it, but in many other instances openly supports violence against Republicans or conservatives. And then Destiny plays this weird game where he like refuses to condemn it, but doesn't actually support it, but kind of flirts with supporting. I don't know. But do they not like worry about this Pandora's box that we're opening? That's what I don't understand about going down this path. Do they not realize that it will absolutely go in both directions? I just saw a news story, I don't know, a couple days ago, I shared on my Twitter about somebody who was arrested because they were threatening to shoot up a pride event or some sort of LGBT event or something in retaliation for Charlie Kirk or something. Now, of course, that's evil and horrible, and I'm glad that person was stopped. But do the people egging on political violence in our society like not realize that it would go both directions inevitably? And in fact, I mean, one side is more armed to the teeth than the other in many senses. So I just don't understand why anyone in our position doesn't understand the need to like calm things down and to remember that words are not in fact violence. And I actually think that's one of the most, of all the crazy ideas that we've reacted to and talked about, probably one of the most dangerous, because if words are violence, then violence in response to words or even to preempt words is just self-defense. And I mean, that way lies civil war, bloodshed in the streets, like just people killing each other, really horrifying stuff. And it's sad because I really like live events. I really like talking to people. One of the things I've talked about with Clarkson as well, who I co-host the Normal Gaze channel with, where we talk about LGBT insanity, is how fun it would be to do a show like IRL in person with a crowd of the normies, of the people who like the content. I mean, the model would be really easy to do in like live show format where we react to clips, we discuss stories. We don't really edit those videos. We kind of just roll the camera and then we edit like an intro and an outro and stuff. But it's just us. That's our dynamic. That's just how we are. So it'd be very easy to do it on stage. And then to interact with the audiences, do Q&As, do all of that. But I'd be kind of afraid. Like I would genuinely be afraid to do that. So I don't think we're going to do it anytime soon. As sad as that is, like we really should be able to, but I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid. I mean, it's probably nothing would happen, but the fact that I even have to worry about that, I don't know. Just to me, it seems like we're heading into a dark place because I don't want that for anyone. I don't want that for a Democrat. I don't want that for a Republican. I don't want that for a Libertarian, an Independent, a Green Party, a non-binary, a whatever. I think we live in America. We should all just be able to talk about stuff and not worry about some crazy person trying to kill us for it or trying to shut us down. But even, I mean, there's already been more instances of threats and people trying to go to college campuses. I talked about this on my main channel, try to go to a HBCU and talk about stuff and a literal riot erupts. It's like, we can't continue like this. It's not going to end well. It's not going to go somewhere good, but you have people constantly ratcheting up the rhetoric. And I'm not just talking about progressives. Of course not. Of course, Trump does that all the time. Lots of Republicans do that as well. I think Stephen Miller is probably the worst offender, talking about fascists, fascist Democrats, talking about traitors. Everybody's a traitor, this, that, we are at war, all this stuff. I'm worried. And it's the first time it's kind of gotten like personal for me, because when I talk about this stuff, I mean, I'm in a room somewhere, like looking into a webcam, watching videos, reading the news. Even when I'm in a person at a TV studio, like on CNN or something, you're in a secluded, separate space. It just doesn't really feel so real. But then you think about the fact of actually going somewhere and doing an event, and it's real. You're in person. God forbid you're outdoors. I just saw Steven Crowder went back and did one of the campus events, but he did it as a surprise pop-up and didn't tell anyone he was doing it or promote it because he's worried somebody come crazy might come after him. And honestly, I got lots of qualms with Steven Crowder, but that's not one of them. That's just common sense at that point. That's where we're at. And that's really not good. I don't really know how to fix it, but I don't know. Maybe you guys have thoughts on how we get out of this, how we de-escalate. I'm not a believer in the idea that you can escalate your way to de-escalation, that you'll hear from some people on the right, like, oh, well, we just have to do it to them or ramp things up so that they back down. I don't really think things tend to work like that. I think things will just get ratcheted up more, like tit for tat or eye for eye just leaves the whole world blind, is the way that I see it. But I'm curious for you guys. I wanted to level with you. I wanted to just test out just having conversations with you guys, chatting straight to camera, not necessarily reacting to stuff all the time or breaking news or doing anything like that. But let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you would actually like to see me do live events one day, maybe things will calm down and we could do it. Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed, yada, yada, yada. And we'll talk again real soon.